Hello, everyone. First, let me say how much I appreciated your many kind words about my work in and for the community as part of my Globe role when we met in June. Second, I really want to apologize most sincerely for the length of time it has taken to get this thank you message to you. As you saw during the meeting, I was having technology issues, but that's tiny in comparison to the issues that I've encountered for the last 2 or more years. After a number of changes, I think I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm hoping it's not a train barreling towards me. In my mind, Globe, the regions, and the countries would be nowhere without you, an amazing group of magnificent and dedicated country coordinators. You are the critical stream that carries information from the program, GPO, GIO, and the RCO out to your teachers, students, and Globe observers if you support them. You are Globe's streaming service, flowing the energy and information to your community. I was truly amazed by the amount and diversity of the work you all did when you gave your country reports at the regional meetings, and what I read in various drafts of the Globe Annual Review. The stories you tell about the great work you are doing, implementing Globe with your community of teachers, students, parents, guardians, is truly exhilarating. I often have to remind myself that while many of you were designated as the CC in your ministries and excited by this prospect, some assumed the mantle because you believed in the program and its mission. The kicker here, of course, is that many, actually probably most of you, are in essence volunteers for Globe, working extended hours, perhaps surrendering part of your weekends or holidays to conduct workshops or whatever event it might be. For these efforts, I am deeply grateful to all because without you and the type of caring, responsible individuals you are, Globe would not have seen the growth that it has, particularly during the last 10 years. Yes, while GIO and the RCOs may have laid the basic groundwork for the growth, you all made this a reality. And one of the beautiful things is that you all did this in your own way for your community in your country. And this is a really important part of the program's success. I also wanted to say how much I appreciate your desire to say goodbye. I feel like I'm still on an extended vacation from work. As you can imagine, closure is a big part of overcoming that. And this visit helped to bring closure somewhat closer. I wanted to thank Mariana for the invitation to the June meeting, as small steps do build upon each other. In one way, I'm glad that I had the technology issues during the meeting because once I would speak in reply to your very kind words, invitations, and wishes for the future, it would likely have become very emotional for me. And even now, writing this video message is emotional, as I remember how I got to know you as colleagues, collaborators, and many of you as friends. The regional annual meetings are a wonderful time and venue to use for program and country updates, and more importantly, as a personal check-in on what's happening in our lives. I think this personal connection became so evident during the pandemic and was the reason we gave Zoom accounts to all our COs. And as in many cases, this great community rose to the occasion and the program actually grew stronger during this terrible time. We knew in our hearts that this time would end, and we are all happier to be able to have the in-person physical meetings back. I trust you will have a great regional meeting in the Dominican Republic this fall. However, the virtual meeting tactic clearly paid dividends for us all in strengthening the community and bringing us all closer together. Another hallmark of Globe is the great kindness and hospitality we show each other, living out the general principle of being kind to each other and this planet that sustains us. On a personal note, I had the honor to probably experience this care and hospitality more than anyone, as I tended to participate in the various community meetings and on some occasions had the individual opportunity to visit countries with my globe hat on. Shortly after assuming the GIO role, Martha and Mariana were able to organize a visit for me to this region. The visit was also extended beyond Argentina and included Paraguay. Working with the US embassies to get me there for about 9 days, this was part of a special speaker program organized by US embassies and the Department of State. Requested speakers traveled to countries for a number of days to present on a central theme. In this case, mine, of course, was Globe, and I extended the topic to cover environmental education and communication. I gladly accepted the invitation. I had no realization how intense the experience would be. Accompanied by two US Embassy personnel and on occasions Martha, Mariana, and others, I visited Globe schools in various parts of the country, briefed the US ambassador, and gave numerous public presentations. My day started around 8 a.m. and went until 9 p.m. The schedule was grueling, and yet it was one of the most enjoyable, connective, educational, and fun trips I have ever had. So gracias to all involved in that. While I did not have the opportunity to visit other LAC countries under this program, I have great memories of how I got to know many of you prior to taking and during my role at UCAR, as well as some wonderful stories to tell about our meetings. Like the time I brought up the idea of moving the Caribbean countries to the North American region, primarily because of language challenges. The emotional response at that meeting clearly showed the care and, and collegiality, you all have for each other, and a commitment to try to beat the linguistic challenges. I want to commend Mariana since then for having consistent professional translation at all LAC regional meetings. I have many more stories, but I need to keep this as short as I can, or there will be hours to view. Suffice it to say, these types of qualities, care, concern, joy, friendships, etc., are what keep a community together, keep it strong, engaged, and help to enlarge it. So, gracias, obrigado, and thank you for all your work with me and others to strengthen this most unique of environmental science education programs in the region. To each and every one of you, as CCs, as regional leaders for the program, as working group members, as people we have called on at various times for advice and help, for your commitment to the program, the planet, each other, and especially the teachers and students in your countries, as well as citizens. And I can't forget this person, thanks to Mariana for her trusted leadership of the region, for reaching out and creating collaborative opportunities for you as CCs and also between you and her office. And while this may seem like goodbye, it is more of an au revoir, because while I may be changing roles, I certainly am not leaving the program. I have been with Globe and the community for 29 years, and it's not going to stop now. Who knows? I may even see you at the annual meeting next summer. So whatever way you say it, Globe is more than a program about the environment. It's about the environment and people. Or I guess you could say us, all of us that depend on the planet for sustenance. It's about communities, communities of plants, communities of animals, and yes, even the community of us. Globe is us, and we are Globe. So, a final toast now to your work, your hospitality, and your kindness. And I wish each and every one of you only the best for you, your families, your communities, and your work with Globe. Thank you all.